Wow. I'm at a loss for words. We got a packed house here. I think you all came to give me, did you all come to give me grief about the Vikings last week? Is that why you're here today? Good morning, everybody. We'll let that go. I wonder if you'll join me in opening up our service on this beautiful Sunday morning with our gathering of spirits moment, our call to worship. We celebrate that where people are gathered together in love, God is present and good things happen and life is full. We celebrate that we are immersed in mystery, that our lives are more than they seem. That we belong to each other and to a universe of great creative energies whose source and destiny is God. We celebrate that the Spirit of God beat in the heart of Jesus of Nazareth. And God's good news was heard by the broken and wounded. We are glad that the Spirit of peace is present with us, this church, as we gather to celebrate our common existence and the ever-present nature of God. And most deeply, we believe that in our struggle to love, we incarnate God in the world. And so aware of mystery and wonder, caught in friendship and laughter, let us become speechless before the joy in our hearts as we celebrate the sacredness of life here in this sacred space. Amen. Well, let us not become speechless for this hymn. Let's not do that, but let us rise up in body or spirit. This is a new hymn that I've wanted to sing for a while. Carolyn reminded me of it this week. It's such a beautiful hymn. It's not All Are Welcome we're used to. It's called All Are Welcome, All Belong. You'll get the beat on this pretty quick because it's a pretty familiar song. So let's rise up in body or spirit and belt out this beautiful song, All Are Welcome, on this new Member Sunday, because all belong.
Mercy,
right, please be seated. Did I really just say that? All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to Faith United Church of Christ on this beautiful Sunday morning. Whether you're online with us, out in the virtual hinterlands of wherever you are, we are delighted you are with us, or whether you're in this space, this sacred space this day with us. We are so happy that you are here. A special welcome to any visitors we have with us, first-time visitors, return visitors, whether online or in person. We are delighted to have you here. If you're in person with us, please go ahead and sign our friendship book, which we keep in the gathering space, so we can keep you apprised of all the happenings that we have going on here. And if you're online with us, just like it says on the screen, go send a note to office@faithucc.org, and we'll get you on our newsletter list. And please remember, if you're online, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It helps us spread what we are doing here wider and farther. Hey, we got a packed service for you today, so we're going to get rolling on some things. I'm not going to do a lot of announcements myself, except for Peace Walk next Sunday. Terry's in the back. Oh, I have a slide for this. There you go. Next Sunday at 2 p.m. we have T-shirts. Terry and Tim have T-shirts. They're $20 a piece, roughly, in case you want to. $15 a piece. So be in the back. Peace Walk will be next week. Just go to, I think it's peacewalk.org. It's on United Faith Walk of Peace.org, and you can get the route and see what that's going to entail. But it's all of our local faith communities. It's an interfaith event, and it's really a cool day of just celebrating community and walking for peace. And if you watch the news, you saw another mass shooting, this time at a lunar festival in an Asian community, another hate crime, it looks like. We don't know that yet, but all the signs are there. So we need to come together any chance we get and walk for peace. So next week is a great day to join our neighbors and other faith communities and go ahead and walk for peace. Any questions, talk to Terry in the back. Tim, you got your shirt on too, and they'll be able to answer any questions on the route or the times or carpooling. We could even arrange some carpooling if we want here, something. We can figure all that out. So next Sunday, Peace Walk, 2 p.m. Next up, Together Women Rise. Sandy and Esther, you want to come up front to the microphone and offer up an announcement on Together Women Rise.
Good morning. Good morning. We are proud to announce that Together Women Rise has achieved a top 4-star rating from Charity Navigator, the largest independent charity evaluating service in the world. According to Charity Navigator, a 4-star charity exceeds or meets best practices and industry standards across almost all areas. Rise began it's celebrating its 20th anniversary, and we got our own card celebrating our a 3rd anniversary in December. Rise is celebrating its 20th anniversary. It began in 2003 when co-founder Marsha Wallace invited some friends to her home to celebrate her birthday. A hat was passed, and $750 was raised for Women International. We focus on women and girls in developing countries. Esther?
Thank you. Okay, can you hear me okay? Because I have a tendency to I get that. All right, so mark your calendars. That's my job here. Mark your calendars because Enumclara Women's Circle, Together Women Rise, will meet Saturday, February 4th, 11 to around 12 noon. Sign up today. Sandy and I are going to be out there in the gathering space during hospitality. So as always, this is a potluck event, so bring a dish to share, and why not, bring a friend. The grant, just brief information, the grant for the month of February has been awarded to Maya Midwifery International. So it is a program in Guatemala that improves maternal child health outcomes by helping sustain local midwives. And these are midwives that know the community, live in the community, speak the language, because as you know, they have their own native languages. So, and they also support these women in implementing policies that, help the community. So thank you for listening. Come the February 4th at 11 a.m. And just wanted to let you know that if you are not able to attend in person, you can support this project by sending your donation directly to Faith UCC, and in the notation include ACWC RISE, FL number 28. That should be a number that you all know by now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy and Esther. What a great event. If you have any questions on RISE and what's going to happen that day, please see Sandy or Esther, and they'll be happy to fill you in. Real quick, Rosa Parks' birthday celebration is coming up February 4th. Remember last year we dedicated the big that gorgeous Rosa Parks bench out there. If you're visiting with us and you have not been to the garden to see, or if you're here with us and for a few weeks you haven't seen it, take a journey out and sit on that Rosa Parks bench. It's such a work of art and work of meaning in the garden, created by Jeff Gannier, one of our members here. There he is, right up front there, and supported by a whole bunch of others of the rest of you. So it's just a great thing. So we're going to celebrate her birthday. It's kind of a tag along to that. It's February 4th at 3 p.m. That's a Saturday. Come on out. There'll be all sorts of fun festivities out here. We're going to have a giant cake for Rosa Parks. And anything else, Carl, I'm missing for that day?
Yeah, I'm going to bring a pie because I'm a birthday pie guy. Yeah, come on out. Yeah, we focused last year on the Montgomery bus boycott with the bench and the seat of the bus seat. This year we're going to focus on some of the other dimensions of her extreme life of witness and rebelliousness and keeping the word out there. That's what we want to do. And this actually is her actual birth date on February 4th. So come on out.
Bring a friend. Come on out, 3 p.m. February 4th. Should be a really, really great event. We're going to hold off on the had a band book announcement. We're going to wait. I know you love your band book announcements. But we're going to set the second, Dan, what did we say? The second Sunday of each month is going to be Band Book Announcement Sunday. So, and I just saw a whole new list that came out from some state legislature of a whole bunch of books. Stephen King is now on the banned book list. I mean, who here grew up reading Stephen King? Yeah. Did you all become serial killers and stuff like that? Anybody want to admit to that? I mean, really? I know there was one about eating flesh after reading some devil worship book or something, but... And how about our governor banning, I'm sorry, this is off topic, banning AP African American Studies? How can he even do that? I hope the lawsuits are already flying, but come on. All these other AP courses are just fine, but AP African American history, apparently that's the one. After celebrating and tweeting out all these MLK tweets, goes ahead and bans AP African American history. That's not hearsay. That's not fake news. That's not an alternative fact. That's a real thing that happened this past week. And unfortunately, not a lot of people are talking about it. And I think that's really sad. Not to mention what the college that's going on down south. That's for another day. We'll save that and we will touch on those things, I promise. But now, that's a segue into the drum circle. Come on up.
You're doing the talking, right? Good morning. Good morning. We're very pleased to announce, and we hope that this will be an ongoing thing. Next Saturday, the 28th, we're going to have our first, what we call Music in the Garden. And it's an open invitation to anyone who plays an acoustic instrument to come and join us. Deb, John, Mark, myself, we call ourselves the Faith UCC String Society. And come and join us. If you'd like to either play a tune or sing a tune or just listen, you're more than welcome. It's out in our beautiful garden. We'll be starting about 3 o'clock and play to around 4:30, and then we'll be followed by the drum circle until sunset. If you haven't been, it's just a wonderful experience in a beautiful setting. So please come join us.
Today.
And also today.
Today after church, the first meeting of the String Society, right? We've been practicing 5 songs, so, and we'll do that about noonish or so.
After
garden.
church.
And we have an extra guitar, or several guitars and dulcimers and other things.
Other things.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. The first ever Faith UCC String Society. I love it. Come on, it sounds like today at noon, right after the worship service. Come on out, go into the garden, enjoy some fantastic music, get your hospitality, and head on out. And I think we have cake today in honor of our new members too. Right? So it should be a great day. I know, any day you have cake here. You can have cake here every Sunday and find a reason for it. It's no problem. So, pie. What do you got against cake, man? That's what I need to know. A couple of, I just want to lift up some concerns here before. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. What am I doing? It's the story of my week. Please hold Jude Decker in your hearts and prayers. Jude is online with us today, I know. She's talked with Jude this week, and she's awaiting some news on some medical procedures and paths revolving around her heart. So she's really concerned, really trying to stay healthy. So staying inside more than anything else. She would love to be here, but she just doesn't feel she can take that risk until she gets the answers that she is seeking. So please hold Jude in your hearts and prayers. Jude, we're thinking about you. If you need something dropped off, you just call on me, you call on us, and we will find a way to get anything you need to you, or a ride or anything else. We'll be there for you. So you take care of yourself, Jude, in this time, and let us know updates as you receive them, so we can just keep you in our prayers. Also hold Chris Tokarski in your hearts and prayers. Chris lost her brother this past week, I think on Tuesday, Chris, and yeah, I know how hard that can be to lose a sibling, and just know that we're thinking about you. You're going to be traveling up, I think, here pretty quick for a service. And
Thursday, I fly up, and the service is Friday night, Saturday, and then I'll fly back on Monday.
Yeah.
Shopping for heavy clothes.
Yeah.
Going to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
thank you, everybody, for the kind words that you put on Facebook. I really appreciated their help a lot.
yeah, we'll be thinking about you this weekend as you travel to be with your family in this time. Also, hold Connie Whaley. Connie may be online with us from the hospital right now, hoping she was going to go home yesterday, but it sounds like she's still in the hospital. Connie was attacked by a cat, a feral cat, last week. It's been about a week now, and it was pretty brutal. She put some stuff on Facebook about what this cat did to her, and it got under her skin. And you know how that can go. Cat scratch fever or other things that they, just really. Luckily, she didn't have to have any surgery, so that's good news, but still in the hospital after really a terrible ordeal. So, Connie, we're thinking about you. We're hoping that you can get home today and start the recovery that you need. Lean on us. If you need anything, just let us know. We'll be happy to run it to you or be there for you. So just get home soon. Also, hold Fran Mitchell. She would be here today. You all know Fran, our moderator. Fran was doing so well after her hip replacement and other things she was dealing with. She was on the mend. And then she was out walking her dogs last week, wonderful pups. And a gentleman was coming with his dogs, and Fran went to the other side to try and go around, and this guy decided this was a good time to pull out a big bag of treats. Well, you know what happens when treats come out, right? And she got wrapped up and she went down. And now she's out for 6 weeks. They had to cancel a trip that they had planned since before COVID, and it's just a real bummer. Fran, I know you're online with us, and just know we're thinking about you and hoping you mend faster and to reschedule that trip. And sorry, she's been so diligent in taking care of herself and doing the things she needed to have that happen this far in. It's just a real travesty. So, Fran, you got a good spirit about it. I know that, but just know we're thinking about you in this time. Let's shift to some joys. And again, our microphone's not working these days, so I'm going to encourage you from now on. Each week, there's a basket out under the bulletin board. It has a little sheet for names and things. If you want to get a prayer request in to be read out on a Sunday morning, or a joy, either one, I'm going to free this up and put a basket right here so you can set it in there each week. But I think we might have a quick couple ones today. Go ahead, Leslie. Oh.
And she did deliver the cake this morning, but we sent her to daycare. Cut her dead and maybe possible
Oh, geez. Don Kydell is, she's a wonderful member here, does our hospitality. If you're in there ever, you know Dawn. She's always in the kitchen, always smiling. She fell and might have a possible concussion. She delivered the cake. Oh, yeah. Not a pie. She delivered the cake. I hand that to Dawn. She is such a trooper. She really is. And I bet she's going to be okay. I know she will be. So, but think about Dawn in your hearts at this time. And she's such a great person. And we want to get her back here healthy and whole. So check in with her later, Leslie. Thank you. Sandy, real quick. And then Victor, and then we'll.
I will be here next Sunday. I'm going to my niece's wedding in Orlando. She and her husband-to-be have been together since age 14, believe it or not, and they are now 27 and they're getting married.
You beat your niece's wedding. All right, he's getting married. Congratulations to you and have fun. Have a good time. Yep. Victor.
Real quick, our family circle was broken twice this week. Tom, Lori's brother-in-law, who was with us last Sunday, flew back to Rhode Island Friday, and his mom died suddenly and unexpectedly Friday night.
Oh,
He was with us last Sunday, so
that was Lori's brother?
Lori's brother-in-law.
And his mom died. Oh.
And then Lori's dad, that was expected, he passed.
Oh, he did. Oh, sorry to hear that. I know that was expected for some time now, but it's never easy. So give our best to both of them, Victor, in this time, especially Lori, and check in with her later. Give her a call. How's she doing? She doing okay?
You know, her father was a retired seminary professor and lived a long life of service. So he suffered mightily the last few years, but Dr. Don Beach, he's a great man of God. So we're at peace, thankful for technology. We were able to have a Google Meet last night, so we feel that he felt our presence.
Good.
Sensed our presence, and we were able to express our love to him. So thank God for technology, but no more suffering.
Yeah. Thank you, Victor, and pass on our love for him. Linda, real quick.
I'll do it as fast as I can. My mother died when she was 37, and on Friday I celebrated my 73rd birthday. So I have now taken her numbers. At one point it was really important for me to live to be 37. So I've taken her numbers and I have transposed them. So
Sure have.
thank God for my longevity.
Absolutely, and a special happy birthday to you. A happy birthday, anybody who had a birthday here this week in the last week. Yes?
I would like to wish Rosa a happy 29th birthday today.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I totally see that. Today's your birthday, Rosa? Well, happy birthday to you. That is awesome. You can do something fun to celebrate today, I hope. Yeah, I love how you started it here. That's all. I mean, what better way to start your 29th birthday than being at Faith UCC? Happy birthday to Rosa on this beautiful day. Go, Roger.
A dear longtime friend of mine, I found out this week is at his end of life. And I would ask if we could just all remember him in our prayers.
What's his name, Roger?
His name is John Payne.
John
He lives
Payne.
In Maryland. He's a good man, he has a good heart.
Yeah.
He's been a good friend for a long time.
Hold John Payne and you as well in our hearts and prayers this day. You bet. Yes. Oh, that's a joy. I'm going to shift to some joys right now. Lori Walker's back in the house. Lori, we're delighted to have you back with us. You've been a long road to recovery, and you're back here now, and we're so happy to see that. We've been praying for you, and now we get to be with you in person.
Well, I have to say thank you, and I am living proof that prayers work.
You are. Yes, you are.
Appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Welcome back, Lori. We're so happy for you. Yes, Larry, real quick.
Just one more. My wife Kathy, her birthday is coming up this week on the 26th.
Oh. Happy birthday, Kathy. Another 29th birthday. 29th birthdays seem to be the thing this week, so. Happy birthday to all of you with birthdays this week. Yes, Dan.
Let y'all know that my best friend in the Navy, Jeffrey Schurrier, 55 years, he's passed away. He was just the most wonderful person, and I remember particularly the event when, the two events, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, as well as Robert Kennedy. He helped me through those periods. A really great guy.
Sorry for your loss of a dear friend, Dan.
We all need to up our game for the loss of him. I can see by the time today.
Peace be with you, Dan, this time. It's never easy to lose a good friend, especially someone that left such a mark. So peace be with you this day, and his family as well. Absolutely. Hey, we're going to move into time that's really exciting. I know I say a lot of things are my favorite, but this truly is my favorite because we welcome in new members into the life of this community. How awesome it is when people find, I'm going to say a little bit more about that in my sermon in a bit, but just how people find themselves drawn here. And I love hearing the stories of what brings people here, the different ways they found us, and how they decided that, yeah, this is a place that I want to rest my spiritual journey in this time. And it's such a delight to welcome so many today. We have 21 folks here today that have joined really over the last several months, but we're going to recognize and honor them today. And some just joined very recently, and then about four folks that can't make it here. So we're going to call them up to give their faith statements, 5 minutes apiece. So Bill's ready to leave. So I'm out of here. Bill's like, yeah, bring it on. Can I have 10? So we're going to call folks up one by one, and then we just want to honor them and recognize them, and then we have these beautiful goodie bags full of, all sorts of the best stuff, like a Faith UCC coffee mug. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want one of those, right? So I'm going to read some names, and we're going to invite some new folks up that are joining their spiritual journeys with the spiritual journey of this church, and then we have a small affirmation on the screen as well that we can all join in together. So I would like to invite up, and just come on up and then maybe spread over kind of this way. We're going to take up probably the whole front, so maybe we'll move all the way down. I feel like a game show director. Donna Alexander, will you come on down? And Nikki Amorites, will you come on down? Nikki. And Mary and Bill Boyd, will you come? Oh, I should say, come on up. It's time to recognize y'all. And Krista Brown. Krista's in the house here in the back there. Krista. Melody and Bill Digman and their daughters, Gwen and Grace. Welcome, my friends. Come on forward. Mark Irby and Roger Fortier, come on up. We're going to really we might have to make a couple rows here. And Di Fox, come on up, Di Fox. Hey. And Frank and Elfrida Jopp and their daughters with us today as well. Welcome, Carol. Come on forward. Donna Laskowski and the birthday girl herself. Wherever you are there. Welcome, Ann. Delighted. Marcia Roberts and Jay Roberts, our clergy friend. Frank as well as our clergy friend. We got a couple clergy friends joining us today. Marcia and Jay, welcome. Laura Scoville. Laura, I know you're there somewhere. And Peter Smith. Come on now, Peter Smith. And unable to be here today is Jude Decker, who's at home, Robin Ferguson, Rick Jablonski. I know Rick is online with us. He's been suffering with some shingles, hoping that he's on the mend. And finally, Amanda Mitchell would also be here today, but are not with us. This is amazing, isn't it? Wow. I hate that I'm pinned up behind you all. I'll change that in a second and come out in front of you, I promise. But on behalf of the congregation, I just want to say welcome to you all. It's a delight that you have come to be in this place right now to help us change the world, to bring your visions and your dreams and add them in with the already ongoing visions and dreams of this community. You only make this place stronger, and it's your passion, your witness, your faith that does that. And I'm looking forward to all of us together changing the world. So I hope you're ready, because that's all we're going to do together. But we just want to recognize you and honor you this day. I have a little affirmation up here for all of us to do together. So I wonder if you'll join me in this welcome of our newest folks to Faith United Church of Christ on this beautiful day. Will you join me? We welcome you with joy into this beloved spiritual community. As we walk together in the way of faith, we pledge to you our friendship and support. May God help us to teach and learn, trust and be trustworthy, forgive and be forgiven, serve and be served, love and be loved. May we live out our spiritual lives in community, whether in person or virtual, and engage the world through the Jesus way together. For your presence here, for the light you bring forth, for the gifts you bring to this place, we join our voices and say, welcome, friends. Woo! Let's give another round of applause. Hey, Mark. Welcome, my friends. And now we've got some wonderful bags, some goodies for you, just to say a special welcome. I hope these mean a lot to you as you look through them later, and have fun, especially with those coffee mugs. So Marge hands one to you. You're welcome to journey right back to your seats there. And just a quick note, if you're visiting with us, you too can join this community. It's never too late. Our new member process here is really easy. You know, we're not like those churches that require 18 meetings and tax returns and, you know. I'm serious. Do you know some churches do that? They want your tax returns. They want to make sure you get a tithe, your 10%. That's insanity to me. I don't get it. For us, it's just you want to be here. Is this where you want to rest your spiritual journey in this time? And if that answer is, yeah, this is where I want to rest that journey, then all are welcome here. So, but whether you join or not, it doesn't matter. You're welcome at Faith United Church of Christ. But if that's something of interest you, talk to Marge Brown. And I know we're going a little long here, but can I just say a special thank you? Marge Brown. Will you stand up? Marge Brown. I've never seen someone with such passion and dedication for membership in an organization. And it's because of your leadership, Marge, that this place is thriving the way that it is. And you're helping connect people, you're getting to know people, you go to lunch with everybody, you want to have coffee with everybody. You have a genuine interest in people, and I find that so cool and so awesome and so inspiring. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do in our, and even though Marge is not on the leadership team anymore, we kind of rolled that role off of the leadership team so she could continue to build a ministry team to keep doing this. I know she says, thank you so much. I thought I was on my way out. Not so fast, Marge. We got more work for you to do, and I know you love it. So thank you for all that you do for us. Thanks. And this group is a testament to your leadership. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit. I know that's hard. There's a lot of energy in here, but let's just breathe in. Just breathe. Take a moment to just breathe in some joy. There's a lot of stuff in the world that we don't necessarily like that can weigh down our spirits, so we need to always breathe in the joy and things that bring smiles to our lips and warm our hearts. And try and let go of some of that anxiety that I know we carry. Some of the negative stuff that seeps into us. We need to find a way to let that go too for our spiritual health and our mental health. So breathe in a sense of peace and joy. Breathe in this present moment. As you exhale, try and let go of some of that anxiety and just remind yourself that in this moment is a beautiful moment and you can live it in the fullest and rest in it fully. And may you feel the divine spark that kindles within each and every one of you. May you take that into your day and into your week ahead, trusting that it is always there. That God is there never farther than the beat of each heart beat or each breath you take. Breathe that in. And let us be in worship together.
When Jesus got word that John had been arrested, he returned to Galilee. He moved from his hometown, Nazareth, to the lakeside village, Capernaum, nestled at the base of Zebulun and Naphtali hills. This move completed Isaiah's revelation. Land of Zebulun, land of Naphtali, road to the sea over Jordan, Galilee, crossroads for the nations. People sitting out their lives in the dark saw a huge light. Sitting in that dark, dark country of death, they watched the sun come up. This Isaiah prophesied revelation came to life in Galilee the moment Jesus started preaching. He picked up where John left off. Change your life. God's kingdom is here. Walking along the beach of Lake Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, later called Peter, and Andrew. They were fishing, throwing their nets into the lake. It was their regular work. Jesus said to them, "Come with me. I'll make a new kind of fisherman out of you. I'll show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass." They didn't ask questions, but simply dropped their nets and followed. A short distance down the beach, they came upon another pair of brothers, James and John, Zebedee's sons. These two were sitting in a boat with their father, Zebedee, mending their fish nets. Jesus made the same offer to them, and they were just as quick to follow, abandoning boat and father. From there, he went all over Galilee. He used synagogues for meeting places and taught people the truth of God. God's kingdom was his theme. That beginning, right now, they were under God's government, a good government.
Why is that so funny? I don't know. That was the message, the Message translation, by the way. I love that. You might have said that, Tom. I just reiterated it. You ever wonder what the reaction of the Father was in our scripture today? Often called Jesus Fishing for Men. Cheesy title, I know. I mean, can you imagine? It's the morning, the sun's showing its first hint of light, and roosters are crowing, and a father and his two sons stir, and they shake the sleep from their eyes, and they're about to go do what they do every single morning. They're going to go and fish. And they're going to make their livelihood on the waters with their nets, and they're hopefully catching some big fish that can get them some high market prices, maybe to help them live another day. I like to imagine them laughing and talking, a father having a good time with his two boys, mending the nets, as we are told, as the boat sits in the shallow waters. And then out of nowhere, this fella comes along, right? With two others now trailing him. And he stops at the shoreline, and he probably watches these guys in the boat and laugh and tell their fish stories, before they head out. And he yells to them, "Hey, you two brothers, come with me and I'll make you a new kind of fisherman. One that fishes for people instead of fish." I'm sure at this point the father's like, "Okay, don't look. Here are the crazies I've been warning you about. Just ignore them and he'll go away. Fish for people? What the heck is he? Splash, splash." Before the father, Zebedee, can finish his sentence, his kids, his sons, they're already wading off into the water, abandoning him in their boat without even looking back, and off they go, following Jesus into some new, unfolding, strange journey to preach about the kingdom of God. Now, I'm not sure I'd be too happy if I was Father Zebedee. You know, would you be happy? You wonder, like, what the heck's going on here, right? For who knows if he ever saw his sons again. We're never told in the rest of the scriptures. But at least in this case, he was still around, the father was still around to bring the nets back home that his kids had abandoned to be used again sometime when, you know, he had to go fishing, the time arose. That can't be said for our first calling story here. Think back to the first one for a moment, kind of reverse in order, which to me is actually the more shocking one of the two, and if we can use that word, the calling of Simon, Peter, and Andrew. So Jesus comes along to them first, and it's just the two of them. He does the same thing. He calls them. He says, hey, drop your nets and follow me. Come on with me and fish for people. And they immediately do, we are told, as they simply drop their nets or abandon their nets, just leaving them and walking away. They just left their nets. Off they go. Now, why is this more shocking than leaving your old man? One, I think your old man could probably fend for himself, right? But again, at least the Zebedee brothers had a father to take their priceless nets back with them. But for Simon and Andrew, they just left them. They left them tools that made a living, that fed their families. They left them tools that for the poorest of the poor, which is what fishermen were in his time, would have been irreplaceable. Tools that they would actually carefully mend and daily repairing them or re-strengthening them, because buying or making new ones was never going to be in the budget. You never were going to get new nets. Not in this society. But they just drop them. Poof, and they're gone. A favorite commentator of mine, Luke Swanson, uses a story, speaking of this, of his grandfather, who was a carpenter, and who cherished his tools, and especially his hammer. This old hammer he had, that he knew like the back of his hand. He talks about his grandfather letting him borrow the hammer one time, and how he first made the young Luke know how important it was, how special it was to his craft and to his living. So Swanson writes, I try to imagine a circumstance under which my grandfather would leave his tools out in the rain. I cannot imagine one. Yet Simon and Andrew abandoned their nets they would have known as well as their children. End quote. I think you get the point, right? This story, told early in the church lectionary year, here it is January, it's no cute bring a friend to church text, as it is often interpreted to be. I've seen churches say bring a fishing pole and a friend. I have. Like you're supposed to come in with a pole and a friend. Like you just lured them in, carried them into the church on a stringer, and said, sit there and listen to this message. It's not what this text is about. Rather, it sets the tone for Jesus' ministry as one rooted in the motif of the journey, or the way, as it's called, that has a beginning. You heard early in the text about Jesus picking up the mantle from John the Baptist, and it's also a story, a journey that has no end. The only certainty about this way is twofold. First, as our story illustrates, it is full of twists and turns that often people don't see coming. Ask Simon and Andrew or the Zebedee brothers. They just went out fishing, they end up on the journey of a lifetime. Who knew? And second, from the very beginning, Jesus did not call followers to follow him to believe certain things about him. You didn't hear that word once, did you? Not one time. No, he used the metaphor as he called them to come and fish, meaning an action verb. In other words, fishing for people for Jesus didn't mean to lure them in with beliefs. It meant to invite them into a movement whose path was always unfolding in new and unexpected ways, not in terms of belief, but rather in terms of the unfolding journey, and more often than not, a journey based in challenging the traditional status quo way of living in the world. Belief for Jesus, those were rigid and they were uninspiring. That's all over the Gospels. But a path to walk, a way to journey, a people to travel with, and a whole lot of love and justice to spread, well, that was a hallmark of the enlivened spiritual life of Jesus, and he called people to come and be a part of it. Unfortunately, I'll argue that has been lost on so much of Christianity today, right? It's all about what, for too many? Belief. It's all about belief, not about the way. And I believe that is highly unfortunate. I think that's why I resonated so strongly this past week with an image I came across, a meme that I saw on Facebook and a whole bunch of other social media sites. It kind of went viral. I'm sure when I show it, some of you have seen it. It's a meme of Jesus created by someone that depicts a newly returned Jesus. Sitting at a laptop. Thank God it's a Mac. I'd like to think Jesus would be a Mac user if he came back. I really do. He'd be like, PCs, no way. Give me a Mac. And here he's drinking his first ever cup of coffee because they didn't have coffee in his time. And he's looking completely shocked and mortified about what has been done to his good news, to the gospel that he espoused during his life. And the good news that he called people to join in on bringing to life in the world. I cut the caption out on the bottom. It says below his shocked and aghast face, it says, Jesus finally returns and gets his first look at what evangelicals have done to his gospel. You can't make that look up, can you? Oh, just look at that face. That was like me watching the Vikings lose to the Giants last week. The Jesus of this meme is no doubt reading stories about how particular segments of Christianity have transformed his message of love and inclusion into a weapon of fear and division. A big part of that being how his good news now has been turned into good news for some, right? Mainly those who believe a narrowly defined right thing about him, and bad news for others, those who do not confine easily to the threat of coerced beliefs and rigid judgmental doctrines of assent. I'm sure he is shocked by a bunch of things here. Look at his face. One, he's shocked the fact he's no longer Jewish. What do you mean, I'm what? I'm what? I'm something that didn't even exist when I was alive? I never heard of Christian. What? One of the calling, a little side note, one of the Jesus calling the disciples images I was going to use that went around on social media showed Jesus with a big cross calling the disciples. And I'm thinking, okay, someone's completely missed the historical context here. Jesus wearing a cross. But anyway, so Jesus will be shocked right here. I'm sure this might be the first thing. I'm no longer Jewish. What? But more than that, shocked over how what was once called a way of life and a path to walk that was wide open to others had been abandoned in the minds of so many as a system of exclusion that is only for the select few that happen to share again those so-called correct beliefs. There's a big difference after all between these two coming questions here. One, do you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior and all the beliefs that come with that? Versus, will you come in off the water, gather on the shoreline, and follow me on a path of love, inclusion, hope, and equity for all people, regardless of what they believe? Yeah. Door number 2. Do you want to trade it? I have some interesting prizes if you'd like to trade that door number 2. What's behind door number 3? Now, I have a feeling Jesus would be closer to this meme and wouldn't quite see that first way reflected at all in what he was seeing, but rather he would see his way hijacked as a rigid, closed, cold, and uncaring faith versus one that calls people into the lives of the world and into the hearts of the people. Now, I'll take door number 2. I'll take that shoreline Jesus we heard about today any day, the one actually presented in the Gospels over the make-believe Jesus of rigidity, creedal purism, blind belief, and I think we can add white supremacy, right? And other things this day. I have a feeling many of you will join me in door number 2. I look around today. I look around, and what a delight to see all these new members, A of the church, along with other new members and those that have been around here for a long time, all of you gathered here. And it makes me smile because I think together we are reclaiming that Jesus of the shoreline that called on people to follow his way, not to believe in him, but to follow him. And whether you just found us recently or been around since we were created as a church in 1959 or somewhere in between, I don't think most of you all come here because you want to believe the right things or be affirmed for holding the correct beliefs or the correct doctrines, right? Am I right on that? I'm guessing that number's pretty high. In fact, we don't even have any doctrines. We don't even have any doctrines here, except for love and hope. I think that's our only doctrine. We don't profess any creeds outside of compassion and inclusion. That makes me smile that we are a spiritual community rooted on a path that is always looking forward through love-colored glasses, looking to a new and compassionate future that is spreading fast, rather than through blinding creedal-colored glasses within a system that is always looking back to an uncompromising past that is fading fast. I mean, when Jesus called Simon, who will later shed that name, he'll go ahead and become Peter. He called Andrew and the Zebedee brothers and soon many other women. I know history will tell you he didn't call women. Oh, yeah, he did. In huge numbers. And they followed him, and other men followed him. He didn't call them, hey, come with me and look back. He called them to journey forward, to let go of the baggage of the past and look forward towards a new way of spreading love in the world. That's how I see us right here. This place, looking forward, not lamenting the past and focusing on the past. That's why I think so many are finding their way here. Experience over belief, right? Love over hate, acceptance over judgment, action over apathy, inclusion over exclusion, awe and wonder over contempt, mystery over certainty, a thriving future over a dying past. And one big way, again, how we are doing that is by focusing on the fact that our faith should be a journey into newness and goodness and not a regurgitation of uninspiring and outdated doctrines and beliefs that just don't fire the spiritual imagination anymore. I think this is what Jesus was doing in his own time as he walked those shorelines seeking people to travel with into the new future that he envisioned. And I know that's what we are doing today as well on the shorelines of our own lives as we blaze a trail to a new spiritual future as a transformative spiritual community. I thank every one of you for being a part of that. You inspire me. And it's not just us. I always have to get this out there on New Member Sunday. This is my bragging moment about the UCC. But this denomination that many of you just joined, whether you know a lot about it or not, well, has this impressive list of firsts in history. And I love to repeat them. You've heard it. Some of you have heard me say this 15 times. Others have never heard me say this. But it's worth repeating for those especially new to the United Church of Christ, that in our past we've been breaking new shoreline. We've been following Jesus on new shoreline for centuries. For centuries. Things like forming the earliest abolition work. Our denominations have that in its history. The earliest abolition work. We ordained the first ever woman to ministry, Antoinette Brown. That's in our history of our denomination. We published the first African American poet, awesome, and ordained the first ever African American man or person to ministry in Lemuel Haynes. Or through the advent of the first foreign mission boards and integrated anti-slavery societies. Think about that. First ever in these denominations that formed the UCC. First ever school for the deaf, United Church of Christ denominations, and ordaining the first openly gay man ever in history, openly gay man in Bill Johnson in the 70s. That was a United Church of Christ denominational first. And not only that, they even one time, they canceled the National Synod. And if you know what National Synods are, these are a big deal planned a year in advance. And these are, not my kind of thing, but some people, these, polity wonks are really into this stuff. And so they plan and plan and plan. And then one time they just said, let's cancel it. And they all got on planes and buses and they headed to California and they marched with Cesar Chavez for farm workers' rights. That's the denomination, time and again. It's never really been about believing ever for this denomination, for us as a church, but also for denomination, but in how we follow Jesus on the shoreline and from the shoreline, how we journey on the path and how we engage the way of Jesus. That's what really has mattered. And I think we stand in a firm way in that tradition. To our newest members, all of you, wherever you are out there, I see you. Welcome. Welcome. I'm so happy each of your journeys, your paths stop here at these doors in this time. I just hope you didn't leave a father or some expensive, important equipment behind to run here and join this church. Go back and get them if you did. Seriously, we welcome you with open arms and are excited for you to share your own gifts and your own passions. Faith UCC needs you. We need you. This church needs you. This denomination needs you. They say when it comes to building power, to make change, that you need one of two things. Well, if you have both, that's great. But you need one or the other. You need money and you need people, right? Well, we don't have a lot of money. But we are growing in power in our numbers. So welcome, friends. You're helping us build power. All of us together make this movement. New passions that just come in, older passions, young dreams just coming in, and old dreams have been here for many years. We are all an intricate part of this movement of love and life, and I look forward to watching our power grow and our love flourish into this new year that we are still journeying into. So may our path be blessed. May our work make change, real change. May our journeys be peaceful. And may our love for the Jesus way, not beliefs in Jesus, but following the Jesus way, may that be a catalyst for good trouble in our community and in our world into this new year and into the years to come. Peace be with you all, and also with you. I'll take door number 2. Amen and a woman. Now let's let the choir continue the journey with some kind of a train ride. I think that we're all going to be going on train ride to Jubilee. Welcome, new members.
All aboard!
you going? Where are you bound for again? I swore the beginning of that was Billy the Kid from Billy Joel. I was waiting for the harmonica to come out.
That's door number 3.
It's door number 3. Well, what's in door number 3? I wonder if you'll join me in a little deeper moment of stilling ourselves and pray these beautiful words by the Celtic theologian John Philip Newell, the mystic John Philip Newell. May the angels of light glisten for us this day. May the sparks of God's beauty dance in the eyes of those we love. May the universe be on fire with presents for us this day. May the sun's new rising grace us with gratitude. Let earth's greenness shine and its waters breathe with spirit. Let heaven's winds stir the soil of our soul and fresh awakenings rise within us. May the mighty angels of light glisten in all things this day. May they summon us to reverence. May they call us to life. Oh, in the heart of this time of stillness, O God, we search for you, knowing we do not have to look any further than the beat of our own hearts. For each breath we take, you are there in the silence, with us always as we live and move and share our being within your presence and your mystery. And so it is with grateful hearts that we gather here today, a community of seekers, some new to this space, some having been here a while, but all seeking ways to live better together, seeking ways to be supportive presence, seeking ways to co-create a just world for all. So for this gathering of spirits, O God, we give thanks. As we make this prayer this day, we lift all places of suffering in hope, for healing, for unburdening, for restoration, for peace. Whether in the pain and violence of the world around us, those things that we hold in our hearts, those places we hold. California and Ukraine. Or in the lives of those we know and love who are wounded in mind or body and spirit, we pause. Feel free to lift them if you would like, in voice or silence. We pray in hope for healing and in solidarity for presence. We may be supportive in all times of hurt for those we know and love. Be with those who are hurting this day, O God. Well up within them the balm of what they need in this time. In hopeful gratitude, we make our prayer together this day. If you'll join me now in praying a beautiful version of that ancient prayer that Jesus would grow to teach us from those hillsides far, far away. The words are on the screen. Indwelling God, infused throughout all existence, we honor you with many names. Your realm is within the human heart. We accept life for all that it can be, on earth as it is in all creation. May we continue to draw sustenance from this earth, and may we receive forgiveness equal to our own. May we ever move from separation toward union, to living grace with love in our hearts forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Hey, we kind of come to the conclusion of our service. Again, I hope you'll stick around and have some cake, celebrate our newest members, meet some new folks, just get to know one another, build an ever deeper sense of community here. I do always want to say thank you for your incredible generosity. You are the most generous congregation that I have ever known in my life, and I thank you for that. Your financial support, your talent and time, and all, it's just all so great, and the things you lead, so much going on here. It's just amazing. It blows me away. I just want to say thank you for your giving. If you're visiting with us or you're online with us and you're like, hey, I want to make a love offering to this place and the work we do together, we have plates on the back table for in person, and you can go to our website if you're online. Just go to faithucc.org and click on Give, and there's PayPal and Banco and all sorts of ways to do fun stuff and get, because giving is fun, right? There you go. Let's look at that way. To do fun stuff. What am I talking about? It's time to wrap this up. Thank you for your generosity, and know that if you do want to make a contribution to our work together, there are ways to do that. I wish you an amazing week. Walk in the shoreline. Answer the call this week. If anybody tells you it's all about believing in Jesus, say, no, it's not. It's about following his way, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what we do here at Faith UCC. Go out and do a little fishing this week. Maybe literally fish, or fish for some people. Bring them on in. Just don't bring a fishing pole. Don't hook them by the collar and bring them in like that. That's just not cool. Try and avoid that one. But I wish you an amazing week. I hope it's a great week. I'll look forward to seeing you next week, if not, and then the Peace Walk on 2 o'clock next Sunday. The Rosa Parks celebration in less than 2 weeks on the 4th. We got a lot going on, so participate in as much as you can. And let's just make it a great couple of weeks here at Faith UCC. Welcome to all of our newest members. Let's give them one more round of applause. Delighted to have you here. And we dedicate our benediction song to them this day. Why don't we rise up in body or spirit and sing our way out of here? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with us. Everyone, love one another, serve that mystery we named God, amen. And I always choose box number 2.